Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Bravens, and I am back for another NFL video. This video will be on my 2022 awards for the NFL season. Since it's coming to a close, I thought I might as well share my predictions and everything. Um, I guess let's start off with quarterback. Let's see, quarterback MVP it's always a quarterback award, even though there's players that you could argue the past couple of years that could have won it, like J.J. Watt back in 2012, 2013, or Derrick Henry's last couple of years. But anyways, I'm gonna start off with the MVP, which is Patrick Mahomes, as you can see on the screen. At Ford is a quarterback centered award, and it's coming out of two players: Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. Joe Burrow may be in the conversation. You could argue Joe Burrow. However, he had a slow start to the year. Bengals has had a slow start, and he really didn't get going to the last couple months. And because of that, I'm going to give it to Mahomes. He's been more consistent. He's been probably the most consistent quarterback in the league. Chiefs supporting cast is meh compared to Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, top 10 O line. And Mahomes also has a top 10 O line, and of course Travis Kelce. But and a really good run game as well. I mean, he has Pacheco, Jared McKinnon, and Edward Slayer's been injured. But Mahomes also, where Mahomes has the advantage over Hurts is his wide receivers. He does not have a great receiving core. I mean, MVS, Juju Smith Schuster, Miko Harmon, that's not great. That's decent, but not great. And that's like in the MVP to Patrick Mahomes. Offensive player of the year, Justin Jefferson. This guy looks to either come close or break the receiving record. He looks really good this year. He's been one of the reasons why the Vikings have been so consistent this year. He Whenever there's like a third and long, fourth and long, this guy's always open. And even if he's not open, he'll make a fantastic catch of coverage and move the chains. Like that, for example, that 4th 18 against Buffalo, Kirk Cousins threw it deep, and there was Justin Jefferson on the sidelines in double coverage, coming down with the ball one handed. He is just fantastic. I'd say he is the best receiver in the league this year. I mean, you could argue Devontae Adams. You could argue Tyreek Hill. You could argue Ja'Marr Chase. But for me, it has to go Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is just an absolute monster on the field for the Minnesota Vikings, and he is the offensive player of the year. Defensive player of the year, I'm going with Micah Parsons. This guy has been an absolute game wrecker on defense. This guy can get pressure. He can get sacks. And sometimes they'll even drop him back in coverage and he'll make a good play in coverage. The dude is one of, if not the best edge linebacker in the entire league. The like whenever the Cowboys defense needs to make a stop, you expect Micah Parsons to make that play. The other argument might be like Darius Slay or maybe Matthew Judon. But for me, Micah Parsons has been the most consistent, one of the best defenders on the field, and the dude, and he's gonna be probably the best edge rusher to come. Offensive Rookie of the Year. This is a very, very close call between two players. I'm gonna give it to Dameon Pierce. He has been one of the biggest bright spots on the Texans. The other guy is their safety. I think Patir is his name. But He's the other guy on the Texans that's been one of their absolute bright spots. The dude is, yeah, Dameon Pierce has been really good this year. I think he's almost at 1,000 yards, maybe even past it, rushing. And I think he is going to be a fantastic running back to come. That AFC South always comes up with great running backs, and I think it'll continue with Pierce. Another player you could probably argue as a for Chris Olave. Olave has been one of the Saints' biggest bright spots in that receiving core, especially with the injuries to Jarvis Landry and Michael Thomas, as well as an inconsistent QB situation. But other than that, I'm going to give it to Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce, Chris Olave, or Garrett Wilson, one of those three will win it. I did for the rookie of the year, going to Sauce Gardner. For a rookie corner, the dude is absolutely shut down. He is a fantastic tackler. Is lights out one-on-one, especially in man coverage. Like the dude could stay with some of the best receivers out on the field. Not to mention, of course, his turnovers are fantastic as well. The dude will be one of the best corners to come in the league. He is fantastic. I won't be surprised if not only Sauce Gardner win Defensive Rookie of the Year this year, but he ends up winning a Defensive Player of the Year in a future year. The only other guy you could probably argue here would be Aiden Hutchinson. And Aiden Hutchinson has been a pretty big bright spot on otherwise underwhelming Lions defense. But other than that, Sauce Gardner has been absolutely amazing. Comeback Player of the Year is close between two guys. Saquon Barkley, Geno Smith. I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley due to the only fact that the Giants will clinch the playoff. The only other guy you could argue, Geno Smith. And that's if we didn't expect a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. Geno Smith, who was a player that never made a Pro Bowl, never come close to a Pro Bowl, making the Pro Bowl this year. However, Saquon Barkley coming off of 2 ACL tears. Averaging almost 4 yards, averaging not even 4 yards a carry. And now being probably the best player on this Giants offense. The dude, Saquon Barkley, has really shown that he will become a really good player in the future for the New York Giants. Coach of the Year. Speaking of the Giants, here's my Coach of the Year, Brian Daboll. For the last category, I'm going to go with Coach of the Year, and that Brian Daboll. I might do a part 2 with other extremist awards that probably the NFL doesn't do, but I think would be really cool to discuss. But anyways, I'm going to go with Coach of the Year, Brian Daboll. I would take a team that had the worst record in the league since their wild card burst in 2016. The Giants have had the worst record in the entire league by far. One of 3 teams in that stretch to never make the playoffs. The others being Denver and the other New York team, the Jets. Being one of 2 teams to never make it over 500. And Daniel Jones, who's become borderline bust. Saquon Barkley has never been consistent. A wide receiving core that is absolutely awful. And the only bright spot being their defense. I didn't throw a squad like that into a Pro Bowl caliber unit. And for me, Brian Daboll has done it. He is absolutely fantastic. Brian Dable. He turned the Warthog team into a playoff contender. Now the question is, will they beat a team like San Francisco or Minnesota in the playoffs? I don't think they will. However, it'll be impressive just to make it there in the first place, because they were absolutely awful the last couple years. And similar to the Eagles this year, I don't think they will make the jump that the Eagles did. I don't think they will only lose 2 or 3 games next year. But to take that step forward and realize, okay, we have a core, maybe we can build off of this and see what Brian Dable has done, and it has been absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at Daniel Jones, for example. He was being labeled a bust. He had his 5th-year option declined. He was battling with Tyrod Taylor for the starting position. And all of a sudden, he's had probably the best year of his career. Pro Bowl alternate. And now they're looking at giving him like a 2-3 year extension. And making him like a bridge quarterback once Brian Dable and Joe Schoen decide to pull the trigger on their future quarterback, whether it's late first round this year or mid-round QB or even next year's draft. But yeah, that is my predictions for every award. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Peace. Peace out. Take care. Bye.